It's been exactly a month since the winner of the Eurovision Song Contest 2022 has been crowned. Time flies, doesn't it? And while you may think that we are somewhat in the Eurovision lull, there is a lot of work going on for the 23 edition of the contest, which is also the 67th edition of the contest. Let's talk about what we know so far about the upcoming edition set to take place in... well, we don't know that yet either. But for now, let's talk Eurovision. Hey everyone, this is Matt, ESC United, your favorite Eurovision channel. So, let's go back to ancient times. May 2022. Ukraine wins Eurovision. And Kalush Orchestra wins the competition, coming first with the televoters, fourth with the juries, with their entry Stefania. Then combined, it was enough to win it all. And, in accordance with the tradition, the country taking home the prestigious trophy, which the band sold by the way, but for good reasons, also is given the opportunity to host the contest the following year. However, we all know the devastating and soul-crushing war that is currently ongoing in Ukraine as they were invaded by Russia a few months back. That obviously complicates things in terms of hosting the event. But the Ukrainian team is undeterred even under these dire circumstances and has formed an organizing committee to host Eurovision 23 in the country. Apparently, the preparations already started last week, June 10th. The representative of the Cabinet of Ministers, his name is Taras Melnichuk, he announced that the mentioned committee was approved and has been formed accordingly. What we don't know is how big this committee is or even who is in it. That's all hush-hush for the time being, but we all can expect more on that in the near future. The Ukrainian Minister of Culture and Information said that he is confident the country will host the contest. He did concede, though, that no one has ever hosted an event like this during a wartime, and in order to comply with the conditions set by the EBU, they are looking currently for answers, a good amount of answers. Nobody truly knows what the situation will look like come next May, so speculation are out there, the rumor mill is working overtime to keep up with everything that it's being fed. The big five countries such as France or Spain are being thrown out there as potential alternative host nations, some of them even offered to host it already. Now of course, the United Kingdom may be the most logical and obvious choice. They came in second with Sam Ryder's Spacemen, and, by unwritten rule, would be next in line to be invited for hosting the contest in case Ukraine can't host. Now, important emphasis is on unwritten rule. The EBU doesn't technically have to offer hosting duties to the second song, to the BBC in this case. And in case you are wondering, the following countries showed interest to host should Ukraine's plan to host not come to fruition. Italy, yes, they are willing to send us all back to Turin and do it all over if needed. At least they know now what to do, right? The Netherlands. They hosted last year, as you know, and saying they would consider putting down an offer if asked. Poland. The country is also open to host it if asked. Some say it may even be a good idea to host it in the eastern part of the country to be as close to Ukraine as possible. Spain. They came third and are ready to host this thing and voiced interest. Now, they haven't hosted in a long time. They haven't won in a long time. It's been over half a century. Sweden. We all know that they know how to host the contest, so no complaints there, right? And then the UK. The business secretary said that they are willing to host, but are hopeful Ukraine will be able to do it in the end. So, more to come on the hosting situation. I mean, usually we talk about potential host cities, and now we are talking potential host nations. It's just a lot different from in terms of participants. As of right now, no like huge updates or shockers, but we all know things can change quickly. Most countries are expected to return those that took part in 21, with a few caveats. I mean 22, I live in the past. Australia, as we all know, is only a guest at the contest, right? At least officially or technically, as they are not a full EBU member, they're an associate member. They're currently on an extended invitation that is set to expire next year, so after the 23 contest. They're either out or the EBU will then extend the invitation, which is probably the most likely outcome here. But for now, don't worry, fans. They're in 23. Andorra announced that their return is unlikely. So very important, it's unlikely. It's not completely out of the question, but it is unlikely. They last took part in 2009. Monaco, after all, may not be in. So it was initially reported that funds were reserved for a 23 participation at the contest, but with a new television channel to launch next year, those plans were delayed apparently, and we haven't seen Monaco in the contest since 2006. So what's another year? North Macedonia. Now, they announced during the busy Eurovision week that they were considering withdrawing from the contest. It had to do with the flag throwing incident and controversy, but that may have been a premature announcement. Who knows? We will know more closer to the deadline. And yes, North Macedonia tends to wait until or close to the deadline to announce their intentions. Romania. Romania is also considering a withdrawal from the contest after the irregular voting pattern controversy. And the broadcaster then asked the public if the country should withdraw completely. But the public said no, they disagreed, saying in a landslide vote that they should take part. Slovakia. They also said that they will not return next year due to financial constraints, low viewing figures, etc. But there's still a tiny glimmer of hope that they may still consider returning after the election of a new director general in August. So, we'll see. The country last took part in 2012. Kosovo. The broadcaster RTK is aiming to apply for EBU membership at the end of the year, and if confirmed would be eligible to join the contest in the future, though hold your horses, participation for next year is highly unlikely because that will most likely be past the deadline. Belarus. They're out. They were expelled from the EBU last year for a period of 3 years, therefore not eligible to take part. And that's all there is to it. Russia, well, the EBU announced that they had suspended its Russian members, therefore the country has indefinitely lost their broadcasting and participation rights. No surprise here. Personally, if you ask me, I'm hoping that we will see a few surprise returnees. I think, especially in times like this, a unified Europe, or world for that matter, would be a beautiful and symbolic gesture, and I understand money talks. But I think it would send a powerful and united message. But for now, don't expect a list of participants until later in the year. More news to come on that. And also, in case you are hoping for some Eurovision 23 music, be patient. No song can be commercially released prior to September the 1st, so we still got a little bit to go here. If you heard a song that you think, oh, this is totally a Eurovision entry or song, well, think again, because that means they are not eligible. Be patient, enjoy the summer, and stay on top of it by listening to ESC United, as we'll bring you the updates and news throughout the year. That's all I have for now. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and please do not forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that like button to help us in the very important algorithm. Thank you, and have a good day.